then come on across to me.
Thank you for joining us tonight on The Experience. And coming up, Terry Waite is going to be with us. We're going to hear some great stories, some real profiles in courage, and how you and I can get involved in helping to fight cystic fibrosis. So that'll be on the way. Right now, though, we're going to talk about the Society for Professional Communicators. Thank you so much for coming by. Michael, Diana, it's great to have you guys here. And who wants to start and give me a little bit of the history, perhaps, of, and I'm looking right at you, of the history of the Society of Professional Communicators in our area?
Well, Mike is probably more an authority on the recent history, but we started as the Worcester County Editorial Council. Editors Council. Yep. You go ahead.
Okay, right. Sure. Well, yeah, the organization started in 1951, actually. It was a bunch of newsletter editors for local companies got together and created the Worcester County Editors Council. And they got together to share ideas, best practices, and according to our history, to also promote free enterprise. That was part of their mission. But over the years, a lot of additional types of professionals joined the organizations: writers, editors, photographers, designers, and so forth. So as the membership became more diverse, the organization decided to change its name, and in 1990 it became the Society of Professional Communicators. So it's been going strong ever since.
You know, what's a typical meeting like for the Society of Professional Communicators?
Well, we have a monthly meeting actually the second Tuesday of every month at 11:30 at Coral Seafood, and we have a guest speaker every month. We try to pick topics that are of general interest to our membership, so things that are currently happening in professional communications, new areas people might want to learn about. For example, we did a whole series last year on social media, which is now becoming a big thing in marketing and communications. So we have a guest speaker for about a half hour, plenty of time for questions, and a big part of our meetings is networking. We try to allow plenty of time for people to chat, get to know each other, maybe find business partners or people to hire for projects and so forth.
And Diana, there's obviously just a huge social aspect to it as well, for everybody to be able to get together, and you're involved in similar enterprises. It sounds like a lot of fun. I'd like to pick up a little bit on what Michael said, though, about the social networking. I bet that was very well attended, because that is something that is where the business seems to be headed. You have to be on Facebook and Twitter and all of these other network sites.
RCC feeds.
Right, yeah.
There's a lot of it that we have to have. In fact, we will have more on that this year, more in depth, because we have recently merged with the Ad Club of Greater Worcester, and there's more that they need to know for their clients.
Yeah.
In order to amp that up to a professional level.
Now tell me a little bit about this merger with the Ad Club. How did that come about? I mean, similar goals.
Similar goals. The Ad Club actually started back in 1910. And I was a member of that. I had my own graphic design business for quite a while in the 90s. They had some problems with the economic times that we've been through, and different agencies moving out of the area. They actually approached the SPC and said, you know, we haven't had an active membership for a few years. Could we merge in?
And Michael, this is really where all this networking that you were talking about comes in. This is a good way, as you know, with the Chamber or Worcester Local First, except of course this is very specific to these businesses.
That's right. It's an organization that represents the interest of people who are in the communications, marketing communications, and now advertising field. So it gives them a professional home, a place where they can go to stay in touch with each other, but also to learn about best practices and current issues and so forth.
Now you have a big kickoff meeting that's coming up for this year on September 14th. Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure, yeah, we're pretty excited about our opening a meeting for this year. It's on September 14th, as you say, and we're having Susan Wornick, who is a longtime anchor and reporter at Channel 5, CBS in Boston. She's going to talk about how the world of television news is actually undergoing some pretty dramatic changes in this age of the internet and the age of the 24-hour news cycle, when there's a lot of people are going to the internet and other sources for their news. How do TV stations stay relevant? How do they keep up? How do they keep their news updated 24 hours a day?
I've seen that just the other day. I mean, we had just the other night on the show Bruce Galtney from the Telegram and Gazette, because of course they've just gone to a pay site for telegram.com, and I would think, you know, Diana, part of it also, you know, when you're talking about this networking, some of it is networking, because with all the downsizing that's going on, people have to be concerned about how they're going to be able to keep their job or find new jobs in this industry.
Especially for a freelancer, that's extremely important. Networking can get you your next corporation that you meet with, because
Right.
the SPC was for people who did communication for a living, whether they worked for a bank, a health insurance company, or wrote on their own. So it brought people into touch with others in their community. Now the other thing, of course, is that news has gotten, as you know, so interactive that people need to stay on top of it, and I'm sure that's part of what we'll hear from Susan Wornick as well.
And it comes right back to what you were talking about earlier with some of your other, seminars and get-togethers as well, where people are, Twitter, Facebook, you go to a website now and people want to be able to see that newscast on demand. You're talking about the RSS feeds. You have to be able to get this news on demand. Nobody wants to wait for it. The days in which we all sat down and had this communal experience of watching at 6 o'clock at night seems to have kind of gone by the wayside.
Right, absolutely.
It's 24 hours now.
Yeah, it really is. Now, you have Susan Wornick coming up. This is going to be a great guest on September 14th. How do you maybe put together some of the other programs that you will put together? Is it from feedback from the people in the group?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, last year we did a survey of our membership, and actually the idea of the social media focus came right from that survey. But we asked people what they wanted to learn about, what was of concern in their professions, and that's where a lot of our ideas for last year's programs came from, was that survey.
How many members do you have now?
We typically have around 60 members. We're hoping now with the merger with the Ad Club to see our membership expand. We're bringing in now some new members who are longtime members of that organization. So 60 has been typical, but we'd like to see that grow.
Now, is this 60 active members?
That's correct.
Oh, well, that's a pretty good group. Then.
Yes.
That's a good core group. But you're looking to grow this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, how do you kind of reach out? The funny thing is, of course, here we are talking about you're the Society of Professional Communicators.
That's right.
But sometimes those are the worst people to get the word out and to communicate in some ways.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is a challenge because we have a small board. We're about 9 people. We're all very busy in our own jobs, so we're doing this as volunteers. So it's hard to find the time. But one of our goals this year, I think, is to reach out to corporations. We've had for a long time a corporate membership, which gives companies a discount on the membership. It's a great benefit, but we really haven't done a good job of marketing that. So we want to reach out to companies and let them know that they have this option to sign up 5 members at a time at a discount and send 5 people each month to our programs.
And Diane, how can you kind of differentiate yourself? Because I think Michael just put his finger on something there. Everybody's so busy, and even to join one more group or to go to one more networking opportunity, sometimes people just take a look at that and go, I just don't have the time to be able to do it.
That's very true. But I think it helps that we did poll our members, found out what they needed, and we've been very active in being in touch with people via constant contact email, via Facebook. We have a site on Facebook, and that's actually key to getting people interested and involved, being online, being hooked up.
All right. Michael, if people want to join this year, what's the best way for them to go about doing that?
I think the simplest way is just send us an email. We have an email address. It's info@spcgroup, all one word, .org. If they send that message, it'll come to me, and I'll immediately sign them up on our email list. They can also go to our website, which is spcgroup.org. They can read about our current programs there. They'll also find links to our blog, our Facebook page, and our Twitter feed. We have all those now. So, and on that site, they'll find a membership application. They can sign up right there.
Now, for you as a long-time member and somebody who has been involved for a number of years, what's the benefit been for you